first want to give a big thank you. I first want to give a big thank you and say that I appreciate this opportunity to stand in front of you all and tell you a little bit about myself. Before anything, congratulations class of 2024. It sure has been a roller coaster. Through the late nights and early mornings, exchanging notes and bickering after exams, through this program I have met amazing people and built great friendships. I've learned so much from my peers and my directors. You have all made me the person I am today. Thank you. I was 17 years old, fresh out of high school, graduating class of 2020. I knew I wanted to attend PMUT. One problem, I was only 17. You have to be 18, so I took a year to myself. I learned a trade at 14 years old under the table with a company who installed stairs and new track homes. It was me and my father. He was a finisher and I was his helper. Spraying and staining banisters for decent money. Some of you are probably wondering, why is this little girl working such a manly job? My mom is a single mom. We're 15 years apart. We grew up with each other. Through the crazy storms and all, at a young age, my mom taught me if you want something, you need to work hard for it. Through the sweat, tears, and prayers, I saw my mom do the same thing. But if I was capable of helping this amazing woman, I always will in a heartbeat, so that's what I did. I worked for this great company and was getting comfortable, too comfortable that I was going to be turning 19 in a couple months, and I still hadn't applied to PMA. And we all know that that's a big problem, correct? So I did what anyone would do at this time. I rearranged my schedule for work and focused on approval to being in the respiratory program. Through this speech, you will learn that every decision I've made has been for a reason. Why respiratory, you ask? Growing up, I was a child with severe asthma. I was a kid who was stuck in a room taking routine breathing treatments, watching from the window while other kids were having a grand time, running, jumping. My great memories as a child were being in the peds area at sunrise, riding my little bike around the nurses area. Having your best friend as a respiratory therapist at 6 years old is very memorable. I think that's what struck my interest the most, is wanting to understand why though. On May 2nd, 2007, my twin sisters were born premature, having gained 2 angels that day. Knowing what I know now to understand and finally heal that part of me, the condition they were in, they were fighters. Having undeveloped lungs and fighting for the lungs for hours, they had a respiratory therapist fight for them as much as they could. Whoever they are, I respect. To add to the top of the cake, my mom was diagnosed a couple years ago with CHF and COPD. I wanted to understand what I could do to know why she felt the way she was feeling. I wanted to know what I could do or how I could help motivate her through her days, especially when she was very sick, how this could affect her, what her future would look like if she doesn't take care of herself. I had all these questions, so I wanted to attend the respiratory program to learn what nobody could have told me so easily. Through the program, I struggled a lot. I never expected it to be easy, but I also didn't expect it to be as difficult as it was. I was on my own trying to afford what I couldn't, hopping from job to job. I worked from companies and I picked up trades in landscaping, waking up at 4 a.m. and leaving at noon just to make it to my 1 p.m. classes. One day I was heading to class after work when I was in a car crash. My car was totaled and I was taken by ambulance to the hospital with a torn rotator cuff and a concussion. You all are probably wondering why. Did she take any time off? No. I walked onto campus the next day. I couldn't afford to repeat. I was already taking a class I had failed. I needed to keep going. So soon after that, I got laid off from my job, figuring out what I was going to do. I put food on the table to even get to school. So I woke up early in the mornings and looked for food banks, gave plasma, keeping my head above water and paying whatever I could afford. It was hard for a while. I got my settlement and I got another car. I was smooth sailing. And then after all, I can be the definition of you could have it all or lose it all in the same day. August 22nd, 2022, I was hopping from couch to couch, facing emotional and mental damage and trying to find a place to live was hard. While I was going to school, I was exhausted. I remember a night I was studying in my car, looking at my closet in the back seat, contemplating whether to quit the program and go get a full-time job to support myself. I cried, and I even screamed. I was not raised to give up or leave situations the way they were just because things got hard. To get what you want, you need to work hard. My failures are not going to define who I am. My failures will turn into success. And now I am here, telling you all about my experiences, of everything that has happened. Within these couple of years, I do not regret anything. I'm the person I am today because of all of those events. I know I've talked about the bad things within these couple of years, but there was light beneath the shadows. And I thank the friends who became family. Little did you all know, you saved me when I completely lost faith. When my puzzle lost pieces, you created your own, and you made me whole again. I want to shine the light on my amazing directors. Thank you, Ms. McKenzie and Mr. Houston, for life advice and giving me information for shelters and food banks when things got rough. The advice and things you offered me helped me keep my head above water, and I appreciate you so much, and you will always be a great memory of my life. But to one of my directors in specific, I want to recognize is Mr. Zerb. You were not easy on me. For the longest time, I thought my director disliked me. But because of the relationship that we had, it made me want to try harder. For example, if I didn't do well on an exam, he'd call me out on it. And I would get mad, but best believe the next exam we took, I was gonna pass. He wasn't like that to be mean or put me down. It motivated me to do better every time. He knew I wasn't gonna cry or give up. Instead, I was gonna prove him wrong. I was in his office one morning. By this time, I was used to Mr. Zerb, and he was used to me. I was taking practice TMC exams over and over. I overheard her say, "The more I'm stern with her, she's gonna get mad and do better." That was his antidote the entire time. It indeed worked. Thank you, Mr. Zerb, for never giving up on me and giving me the backbone I have today. But for all, I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my father in particular for letting me learn everything that I need to be who I am in trade work, cars, labor. We have a little joke. Thank you for making me the man I am today. But last but never least, I want to thank my mother. It has always been you and I from day one, and you're my rock. You saw me in every season. There were times I was so frustrated and upset and I would take it out on you, but you kept your arms open for me when I would fall. You'd tell me it's gonna be okay. The words, "it's gonna be okay," never felt so calming in situations like the ones that I had. In life, when a parent teaches their child how to ride a bike, someday they have to take the training wheels off. My mother did as well, but she never threw those wheels away just in case, and I love you for that so much. But I am not finished yet. This graduation today is just a stepping stone for more. I'll be working towards both my bachelor's and my master's degrees. I am currently preparing myself to take the register exam to receive my neonatal pediatric specialty. With the credentials I have and the experience I will learn, I will make a living in San Diego and work at the best hospital out there in Meekio. With these plans I have no doubts. You realize the difference between saying I want and I will? You can want anything, but at the end of the day, you will have what you earn and work towards. So the advice that I give you all today is to never give up. Life is gonna throw many things at you. Get mad and keep going. And just because you fail, it doesn't define who you are. Failure can be used as success, and you will use that success to reach the top. You might be in pain, but when you walk the stage, you're not gonna be in pain anymore, guys, okay? When you're tired, but when you walk the stage, you're not gonna be tired anymore. And if you're financially unstable, when you walk the stage, you won't be anymore. So now you can finally take a breath, okay? Don't stay in the dark too long and get up and go on with your life. Thank you guys. Thank you.